As you know, this month, I titled this Learning Here, Learning There, Learning Everywhere. And we had online learning, we had in the class learning, and today we have experiential learning, showing how leadership classes and experience goes into a work world you would not have thought about. Before I introduce the speaker, I would like to say that the women's basketball team is 3-0. So, Bridget Eckert is not a player in the traditional sense. She doesn't have a number on her back. But I want to tell you, if it weren't for Bridget, the team would fall apart. And she's going to share some of those things with us, her leadership experience, of how she brings that in as she works with the team as the senior manager. Bridget is a super senior at Purdue. She's in sports movement science. She's from Jeffersonville, Indiana, and I would like to tell you that she has gone to extraordinary effort to be with us today. I asked Bridget in January or February or so, saw her on the trip in Italy, and we kept talking about, okay, then she emails me and she says, now when did you want me to come talk? Because I get out of class at 1:15. So she had to convince 2 of her teachers that she should be able to leave one class early so she could get here, and the other instructor so she could continue to be here. So we want to thank those instructors as well. Bridget is a marvelous speaker. She's a very hard worker. If you could have seen all the stuff she lugged around for the trip, you would understand. You would want this person on your team anytime. Bridget Eckert.
First and foremost, I want to thank you for you guys having me here. It's a blessing. Everything's a blessing in life. I try to look at it that way. As Camilla said, I am the head student manager with the Purdue women's basketball team. This is my 5th year with them. And so here we go. And I'm just going to say, secondly, everything that I do within my job cannot be fit on this PowerPoint. It's just not possible. So first I'm just going to go over like practice responsibilities just very briefly. It may seem like a lot, but I assure you it's only half of what I do. So equipment, we always make sure we have equipment out on the court. We have, our playing balls. We have 30 practice balls, 20 turnover balls. We have 6 freestanding defensive men. We got towels. We have defensive pads. We have cones. We have a slip knot, which is basically a sticky pad. For shoes, we have liquids. We always have to make sure the girls are well hydrated, and we work with a trainer one-on-one to make sure we have all that equipped for practice. 6 gallons of water, 6 gallons of Gatorade.
What in the world is there between a practice and a turnover ball?
So practice ball is, it's a leather practice ball. It's a Nike ball. A turnover ball, it's a Coach V kind of strategy. It's 20 balls on 2 racks on the side of the gym, and they're not allowed to practice or dribble with those. Those are just turnovers. So if we have a turnover happen in practice, we take a ball off the rack, and then after 20 turnovers, those 20 balls off the rack, we start putting the ball back on the rack. So 21, 22. And so for however many balls are back on the rack is how many suicides they have to run at the end of practice.
So all the way to the top?
No, those are called Mackies. They don't have to run Mackies unless they're in really big trouble, but no, it's just suicides. And but if they make a free throw, 1 ball gets to be taken off. If they miss a free throw, they have to run. So it's just kind of like, when you live, you learn, you punishment kind of thing. They dislike it, as players. But I think it's a good thing.
What's a freestanding defensive unit?
So it's basically, we call them demon, just for short. But it's basically a guy it's a net and he stands up, so they have to shoot over him. It's just a very flimsy, it's a silhouette of a guy with his hands up. And the guards have to shoot over him and do drills with them and whatnot. I think the biggest, most important thing on here, believe it or not, is our gum jar. We don't go anywhere without gum jar with pens, pencils, dry erase markers, permanent markers. We got 3 types of gum. We have mints. And that's for managers, coaches, and players. So it's, believe it or not, very important. Everybody's looking for gum. And then dry erase board. We have different kinds of dry erase boards. We have like coach's board. Only coach gets to use that. There's always a towel connected to that, and there's always a good chiseled dry erase marker with that board. And that's not including all the equipment. That's just the big stuff. We're also statisticians, so 2 of us managers are always behind the clock, statting everything that happens in practice almost. So we have 4 kinds of stat sheets. We have team stats, we have guard shooting, we have post shooting, and we have free throw stats. So guard shooting, post shooting, it's about, what the post shoot percentage-wise in that position. Okay, what did all the posts shoot in this position? We break it down in percentages and see over time as practices go on, see if they have improved, what we need to work on. The picture, the illustration up here are the team stats. We keep track of defensive, offensive rebounds, turnovers, blocks, charges, assists, steals, deflections, field goal attempt, field goal made, 3-point attempt, 3-point make, free throw attempt, free throw made, middle drive, miss layup, no crash and no box. And that's just like one drill. So there's a lot of people. I don't have time to keep looking up because if you think about it, you got 5 on 5. So you got 5 gold against 5 black. You have to keep stats on both ends. And so I just have someone like feeding me everything that they see happening. And even then, you only are going to get 90% of the stats just because it happens. I mean, we got 2 people doing a 3-man job. So, and then we have a statistic board. We call it our stat board. It's a huge dry erase board on wheels. It essentially kind of looks like that sheet, except for a little fewer columns. And it basically keeps a running total of all the stats we keep of every drill, so that way the players throughout practice can go up and see on the kind of a big screen, okay, this is what we need to start working on in practice. Like obviously, this, it's subjective day to day on how well they do. As a head manager role, prior to the head manager role, I was the assistant head manager, so I was the co-manager for 2.5 years. This is my first semester as head manager. Like it says, it's stressful, it's fast-paced, but it's a grateful opportunity. You get a lot of experiences. I delegate various setup duties to fellow managers. I'm kind of in charge of 14 people, and I delegate responsibilities for practices and game days, saying what they need to do, when they need to do it, and how they need to do it. And sometimes I don't tell them how to do it, and I'm always open to new ways and ideas of getting things done, be more efficient. I'm all about efficiency, and that's how the coaching staff is, so I try to implement that on our other managers. I communicate with coaching staff and teams to ensure all needs are met. This can range from a certain person needing this flavor of gum to I need to go run into the locker room and get someone's deodorant. It's very broad. I've by far some strange requests over the years. I personally also analyze competitive footage and log valuable information to provide Team with strategic advantage. What that means is I go in and I watch our opponents' games. So watch them play other people, break that down in plays, and clip footage for the assistant coaches to break down, okay, this is what their tendencies are. So I help them get it on a more categorical level so they can say, okay, they can then put it into subcategories, okay, their, plays and whatnot, and then, Coach V, she comes in and says, okay, this is what we're going to do. So that's one thing I do, and it's very time consuming. Go ahead.
On that subject, how many hours a week do you dedicate to this?
A lot. It ranges in season. It's a good 40-hour week, if not more.
Follow-up question, are you on scholarship?
No.
Do you get paid?
I get paid minimum wage, but every year you accumulate, you'll get a quarter more in your raise. Right now I'm currently at $8.50, so that's a bonus, yay. So I've been very blessed to be able to get paid, and I'll go more on to like the Italy trip and the more bonuses I get with traveling.
Are you eligible for a varsity letter?
What, like a letter jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a letter jacket. You get it, I believe, your second full year as a paid manager. So yes, I do have a letter jacket. And then I'll get another kind of letter on a blanket for being a 4.5 years. So game day. This is a big day, very stressful, lots at stake, win or lose. We're going to try our hardest. So home game, of course, it's Mackey Arena. Once again, Delegate Veras set up duties to fellow managers. We have 3 types of positions. We have floor managers, ball people, and video. Floor managers, that would be me. I'm the head manager for floor manager. I work in the locker room and I work on the court. No other manager works in the locker room. It's a tight ship, no outside people. And floor managers work, there's 3 floor managers at a home game. They work behind the bench, towels, chairs, anything you could think of they need, you're there. And I have Coach V down almost to a science, like what she needs at this time in the game, depending on who we play, what her stress level is. Like, I've across the board, I've analyzed people, like what they need. Ball people, they stand at each goal, 1 person at each goal. They assist the refs with water and towels. And then they also mop the floor if someone, takes a dive and there's sweat on the floor, or they sweep up after media timeouts. Once again, I communicate with coaching staff and team to ensure all needs are met. Literally anything you need, we have to have it right there on the court, or find it as soon as possible. So home games can be stressful because you're trying to make sure. Our roles, I try to describe people, like my job is to know what people want before they even know what they want, to make sure the ball keeps going. Like, it needs to be a continuum. So I always try to teach our new managers that. It's always hard. That's not a lot of people's personalities, to be outgoing, to be proactive. So I always try to teach that to our younger people. Away games, juggling academics while on the road. Let me tell you, it's hard. I don't get the privilege of an academic advisor that with sports that works with my professors. The athletes do. And so that leads me to, I have to continually communicate with my professors and my lab assistants and teaching assistants and saying, I can't make this exam, I'm going to be on the road. And, a lot of times they work with me, but sometimes it's tooth and nail. I'm like, I can't be here, I have work. And a lot of people do understand. It's just a lot of catch-up work. You have to take an exam early, take an exam late, jeopardize some other schedule because academics is important. Student athletes, student comes first, athlete comes second. So academic-wise, that's more important. What to pack? We pack everything. There's basically almost nothing we bring. Equipment bag, we got chairs, clipboards, extra bag, which entails all kinds of clothing of all different sizes, of all different shapes, of all different colors of shirts, shorts, undergarments, and jerseys, and practice. We even once had to bring a pair of shoes. Snack bag, the girls wouldn't live without their snacks. So we normally go, Sam's Club, get some snacks. Because of course they don't eat enough. They love snacks, and these are like applesauce and graham crackers and goldfish and stuff they can munch on at night. And then coolers, we bring drinks, juices, waters, Gatorades. We're promoting hydration. We want them ready for the game next day, hopefully without cramping up. So when in Rome, I was very blessed to go with the team to Italy this summer. It was actually in August. There's things I saw over there that I would never, ever thought I would ever get to experience in my whole entire life if it wasn't for Purdue women's basketball. I went to so many places. I learned so many new things, and the fact that the whole trip was provided financially for me with an additional stipend, I essentially did not have to worry about any cost, and it's a very I'm blessed for that, just because as a student, a hardworking student, as an independent person, I paid for everything, and that would have been very expensive, but very blessed for that opportunity. I have to say my favorite place was the Vatican. A lot of history. I'm very religious oriented. Faith comes first in my life. So that really hit home for me. So that was a great experience. Got to saw a lot of my religious roots. So that was very awesome. Here's the places we went. I actually took this picture in Venice. We were on the gondola. So that was pretty awesome. We went to Rome, we went to Vatican, we went to Florence, we went to Pisa, went to Parma, went to Venice, went to Lake Como, and then went to Montreal, Switzerland the last 2 days. So we were in Italy for 10 days traveling, and I'm sure I forgot 2 or 3 places. And this was out in front of the Vatican. Yep. And that's it. So, go ahead.
Okay, you see all the statistics. How good are we going to be?
I haven't been. Stats come full speed at the first day of practice. That's when heavy stats come out. We've been doing very minimal stats, but what I've been seeing overseas, we've been playing pro to semi-pro teams, very collegiate level, if not more. And we were doing a great job. We were doing a phenomenal job. The chemistry is back. Like, it was just amazing to see them all on the court. And we always had chemistry, but I felt like we were in our old ways of good old ways of like how everybody can work together, and like everybody. They were there for one another. I think we're going to do extremely well this year. I have confidence in that.
What's your playing background? Do you play in high school or AAU or?
I've actually been managing longer than playing. I played since the age of 4 till 7th grade. And then I've managed boys 4th and 5th grade, 8th through high school for girls basketball. And then this is my 5th year at Purdue managing. So I've been managing a lot longer than playing.
Where at? Where did you?
Jeffersonville, Indiana. Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that shooting the free throw is actually a science, and everyone shoots it different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very frustrating to see him stand in line with a free throw. Is there a free throw shooting coach?
No. It's above my pay grade. Coach B, they're all, as as a group, they're all very well informed about how to shoot a free throw.
I actually use that as an example in one of the classes I teach. If you eliminate variation in the process, you have better predictability.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can, in fact, have a coach to treat reduced variability in the shooting process, the watcher will be humble, and the amount of distance he moves as compared to somebody who brings it all the way to the head, they can improve their free throw shooting enormously.
And I agree. And first thing, two things I want to say about that. First thing, men's basketball is not women's basketball. We kind of are more fundamentalist. Secondly, our team is one of the highest free throw shooting percentage Big Ten schools in the conference. So we have a pretty impeccable free throw, and there are a few key players that need to work on that. But as a whole, on average, we score very high on free throw percentage.
After graduation, is coaching in your future?
No, I don't think it's for me. I think what maybe assistant coach or assisting a coach, not in a coaching format, but I'm a behind the scenes person, even though I'm always in the front line. I always try to be helpful, and I'm a very strong leader. I'm a very independent, strong leader. I always try to push people. I always see the good in people, and sometimes it's a fall and come back on me. But I don't see coaching in the future for me. But who knows what the future beholds? So.
What's the quirkiest thing that you had to provide?
Not sure that's appropriate. I'm just kidding.
Well, appropriate things.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. You put me on the spot. I don't know. I guess going out. I would say one of them is when we were. Oh, I got to go in. I won't share the whole story. It's a very funny story, but we were in Mexico, and for a Thanksgiving tournament, and we went to Puerto Vallarta. Coach was sending us out, and here, just for example, when we traveled to the convention center, we were passing shops that, like, the front doors were garages. It was a very rundown inner city. Where we were staying was closed off. It was nice and whatnot. It was safe, but through the city, didn't look safe and whatnot. And then when I found out Coach was sending us in the city to go do laundry, I was like, I don't know about this, because it was just kind of like a scary thing. And I don't have an international plan. Like, what if I need to contact someone? Long story short, ended up not being in the city. Was still in the gated community, but we still had to leave the site, and everything was in pesos. Everything was Spanish, and I know, a little Spanish, but not like I'm not fluent. And we only had the bills. We didn't have the coins. So we saw a coin machine outside the laundromat. I was like, oh, good, we're getting coins out of this. Let's put all our money in. And then when we tried to use it on the actual machines, it took it, but it kept spitting it back. And we were like, why isn't this working? Like, we have pesos. And we read the coin, and it said no cash value. So we spent all of our money on arcade tokens. And we had no idea how to tell our boss how we just spent all of our money that she's worked an hour to get because of the ATM not allowing her to withdraw. And here we are stuck, in Mexico, not being able to contact our boss. Like, we're just me, the head manager, and a guy who came on the trip was our age. And I was terrified. I was afraid to tell my boss, but we ended up figuring it out and stuff. And so that was kind of, I guess, quirky. It was a funny story. So.
I don't know what I did wrong. I think you can see that the team really would fall apart if they didn't have someone like Bridget. and Megan there to do all the things. She goes for chewing gum. She goes for what's the candy they like? Lifesavers. Trying to find, somebody left a sock, so she's got to go get a sock at the last minute or whatever. But you should have seen her carry the snack bag onto the bus to take these the players to Italy. I don't know how she did it. It looked to me like it was Kroger. I mean, there was everything there, bananas and peaches and goldfish and everything, but she managed the whole thing beautifully. And we really do appreciate it. Did I tell everybody this was your first time to MCL? She had never been to MCL. She's a super senior, so this was something new for her. So she is learning. It's experiential, and I think we want to say so much thank you for coming today. And we do have a small token for you. It's one of our famous Kiwanis flashlights. So if you're ever in the dark when you're trying to do those stats, here you go.